So Andrew McCutchen has come off the market and he is signed with the Philadelphia Phillies. The winter meetings are just all over the place right now. I've got a lot to talk about in this video, but mainly going to be talking about Andrew McCutchen. And don't worry, for those of you here to see me go crazy about the Noah Syndergaard to the Yankee rumors, it's coming at the end of this video, so stick around. Now, before we do get going into this video, I actually do have some merch. Yeah, that's right, I finally made some. So if you're interested in buying some Giraffe Neck merch, there'll be a link in the description as well. If you go underneath the video on YouTube, there should be pictures of all the merch, so you can click them, buy it, teespring.com/store/GiraffeNeckMarc, but link will be in the description. And then you guys know the drill. Leave a like on the video if you do enjoy it and you want to see more. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you enjoy the content, because I mean, you're not going to want to miss it if Noah Syndergaard gets traded to the Yankees. I promise you, that video is going to be amazing. It's just that it's going to be at the cost of my sanity. And let me know in the comment section down below what you think about Andrew McCutchen going to the Phillies, as well as all the other news that is going around in baseball currently. And you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description. Love to talk baseball over there. Been doing a lot of tweeting lately. So let's get to talking about the Andrew McCutchen deal. As many of you know, he has signed with the Philadelphia Phillies. The contract details seem to be 3 years, $50 million. I think there's a team option for a 4th year if they want to pick that up in 3 years from now. A lot of people didn't like this move at first because they thought that this was going to limit them from getting maybe a Bryce Harper or a Manny Machado. They're like, hey, this is money that we could have spent on guys like Harper and Machado. What's going on here? But that's not the case. The Phillies have so much money. They have such a huge surplus, and they're willing to spend all of it. And I mean all of it. This really has no effect on them getting Harper, Machado, anybody else on the free agency market, because the Phillies are willing to spend. It's just, are the players willing to go to Philadelphia? Now, I was at the supermarket when I saw this deal go down, so I couldn't give you my initial reaction, but we're back. I've had a few hours to think about it, and honestly, I think it's a really good move for the Philadelphia Phillies. Andrew McCutchen, had he still been able to play center field, is someone that I would have wanted the New York Mets to go after, but he really doesn't profile as a center fielder anymore. Lost a little bit of speed. He's not the same player that he once was, although he's still very productive. So I personally think it's a great sign for the Phillies. Again, fielding has been an issue for them the last couple of years. They're one of the worst fielding teams in all of baseball. Now, Andrew McCutchen is by no means the best fielder in all of baseball, but he is going to be a very good left fielder defensively and offensively for the Philadelphia Phillies. I mean, the dude won a Gold Glove as an outfielder before. And yes, you're not getting Andrew McCutchen from his MVP seasons when he was 25, 26, 27 years old back in Pittsburgh, but you were still getting a very productive and good player. Last year, the average was down for him, which seems to be a little bit of a shocker. He was a 255 hitter. That's not what he normally is in his career. In his career, he's right around 287, so he hit 30 points lower last year. Maybe that's a little bit of playing in San Francisco, then getting traded to the Yankees. He was all over the place. I don't think he's really a 255 hitter, honestly. I don't think you're going to be getting those MVP numbers above 300 anymore, but I think he's probably more of around that 270, 280 hitter, which is still very good, especially in that extremely hitter-friendly ballpark in Philadelphia, Citizens Bank Park. So last year, he actually played in 155 games, which is something that Andrew McCutchen does pretty regularly. He's very consistent, gets on the field, stays there. Since coming up in 2010 with the Pittsburgh Pirates, Andrew McCutchen has played 140 games minimum every single season, which is very hard to do. 8 seasons of 140 games every single year. That's really impressive, especially now in Major League Baseball when players will hit the DL for such minor injuries just because of how much money they're getting paid from their teams. They want to make sure that their investment is safe. But McCutchen's out there playing every single day, and that's something that you can't understate. That's extremely valuable to a team, especially when you got a good player like Andrew McCutchen. When you compare him to guys that would be filling in for him, he's much more valuable than when you compare him to, let's say, stars of the league. But like I said, last year, 255, his batting average was down 30 points. His on-base percentage, down a little bit, but kind of right around his average. He's a 378 on-base percentage guy. He was 368 last year. What could scare you a little bit is his slugging percentage was down quite a bit as well with his batting average, but that could be a little bit of a factor with playing in San Francisco last year, which, as we know, is not a hitter-friendly ballpark. But overall, his OPS was still close to 800, and his OPS plus was still above 100, therefore classifying him as an above-average outfielder in terms of hitting. So in 155 games, Andrew McCutchen had 145 hits, 83 runs, 30 doubles, 3 triples, 20 homers, 65 RBIs. He walked 95 times, which is very impressive. That's a really good number. He had 14 stolen bases, which again, you're not getting steals out of him like you were in the past. He just doesn't have the wheels like he used to. And he had a pretty good slash line. So I think that the Phillies ended up getting a really nice piece in Andrew McCutchen. I do not think the Phillies are done here. I don't think they'll get Machado or Harper. I really don't. And maybe it's a little bit of Philadelphia, New York bias that I just can't see a star going to Philadelphia like that, especially, when bigger markets like New York and Los Angeles are involved. But I can see them going to get a Michael Brantley. I can go see them getting some other players to add to that team and make them a more competitive roster in 2019 and competing for a National League East title like they were last year. This Phillies team has the potential to be really scary, and it's something that I don't like, especially, well, I guess we're going to talk about it now. Especially when I hear that the Mets might be trading Noah Syndergaard. Oh, wait, now they also might be trading Ahmed Rosario. And maybe Nimmo too. What is going on here? Who is calling me? I get all these robot phone calls. Shut up, I don't want to talk to you. But there's a crazy rumor going around that the Mets are trying to get JT Realmuto, which I'm like, oh, okay, I like JT Realmuto. He would help out our team. Oh, wait, but hold on a second. We might be trading Noah Syndergaard to the Yankees for him? Why? Why would we do that? Why would we do that, especially when there's guys like Yasmani Grandal, Wilson Ramos available on the market, who productivity-wise aren't vastly different than JT Realmuto. Yes, JT Realmuto is a better player than both of those catchers, but at the same time, when it comes down to production, they're not a ton different. They're pretty close, and you know what the difference is here? Here's the big kicker if you're a New York Mets fan. We don't have to trade Noah Syndergaard. We don't have to trade Ahmed Rosario. We don't have to trade Brandon Nimmo. We don't have to trade About Conforto. We don't have to trade anybody. We can just sign them, and they're on the team. What we have to use is a little bit of money, but it seems like the Wilpons are, handcuffing Brody again. They're like, you can do whatever trades you want, but you got to make sure that we don't add more salary or add too much more salary. We took Cano's contract for all you know. Because it's just, JT Realmuto's a great player, but it just doesn't make sense to trade Noah Syndergaard to get him. What are we thinking? And now the Marlins are supposedly holding the Mets hostage. Or like, we will not give you JT Realmuto unless you trade him to the New York Yankees. What the is that shit? What is that? I'm sorry, Derek Jeter, but aren't you supposed to have the best interest of the Miami Marlins in mind, not trying to think about what the Yankees should be getting? I mean, it's not like the Yankees prospects are anything to go crazy about. Yes, you got Estevan Florial, who's a very good prospect. But the Yankees farm system isn't loaded like, let's say, the San Diego Padres or the Chicago White Sox. I mean, you could get a lot better prospects, so why are you forcing the Mets to be like, if you want Realmuto, you're gonna have to give Syndergaard to the Yankees? I mean, what is that? Collusion. That's what it is, collusion. But again, let's not talk about that. Let me not sound like a crazy person calling conspiracy theories, we never walked on the moon. I'm not that kind of person, but it's getting a little fishy, and I'm not talking just because of the Marlins. Excuse my pun there. So I'm almost at the point of I'm done listening to rumors involving the Mets trades. I'm gonna see them on Twitter. I'm probably still gonna get mad because I'm on Twitter way too much, and it's part of my shtick. I gotta be involved. I have to give my opinion on everything. But geez, I'm sick and tired of seeing John Heyman say one thing, then Mike Puma says another thing, then Joel Sherman says another thing, then Ken Rosenthal says another thing, then Buster Olney says another thing, then this schmuck says another thing. These MLB reporters and news guys are really they're just driving me insane, because it feels like clickbait at this point. You have so many different guys saying so many different things. How can it be possible that everyone knows something different and nobody's on the same page at all? You want to know why? Because they're all making it up. I don't know. As you can tell, I'm triggered by this. Because even the thought of Noah Syndergaard being traded to the Yankees just for us to get JT Realmuto blows my mind. I don't understand how that would be a smart trade. So Brody, say it ain't so. I'm lost for words. Let's calm down and let's talk about some other news that's happened in baseball as well today. Whew. I could literally talk probably I did talk for an hour yesterday on Twitter while I live streamed it, but I could talk about this Mets trade rumors for days, for 24 hours straight. I'm not even kidding. Some other news in Major League Baseball: Ivan Nova was traded from the Pittsburgh Pirates to the Chicago White Sox in exchange for a prospect as well as some international cash money. I believe it was about $500,000 that they received from the White Sox in international pool money. Does this trade mean anything? No. It's Ivan Nova. He's 33 years old. He's a middle of the line starter. He'll probably be one of the better guys on the White Sox because their starting rotation really isn't great. But at the end of the day, there's not really much to look into with this. The Pirates have a lot of starting pitching, so Ivan Nova was kind of just wasting space there, especially when they got some young guys coming up that they can use now. And I feel bad for Ivan Nova because now you have to go play for the White Sox, who again, unless they sign Harper and Machado, don't seem to be a very competitive team. And having gone to the Chicago White Sox stadium, I don't know why anybody would ever want to play there. That stadium was by far the worst stadium in all of baseball. The Corey Kluber trades are still flying around. Los Angeles Dodgers seems like a possible landing spot for him. Same thing with Yasiel Puig. The rumors are flying around everywhere there, but I mean, everything seems to be about the Mets and Noah Syndergaard with the Yankees and Marlins right now. Also, the Phillies, I believe, are in on JT Realmuto, which the Marlins are saying, like, again, they're like, oh, we'll trade him to the Phillies if you don't want to do it. It's like, fine, do that. I don't care. It will hurt me. You're making the Phillies a better team, but I don't want to give up Syndergaard for Realmuto. I don't want to even give up Rosario and Conforto or Nimmo. It's just, I'm at a crossroads. I wanted an active GM. I got one, and now I hate it. I'm the worst. I'm turning into a Yankee fan. There's also been some news that the Red Sox might be trying to shop Rick Porcello and Jackie Bradley Jr., as well as maybe even Xander Bogaerts. Now, I don't believe the Bogaerts talk. I think that's, again, just rumors being rumors. But I can understand the Rick Porcello and JBJ talk. Yeah, JBJ was awesome in the playoffs, so he was very important for them. But at the same time, their guys coming up at the end of their contracts, they got a little bit of money in them, and the Red Sox are really close to approaching the luxury tax, and they still need to get some bullpen help, so I understand why they want to get some salary off the books if possible. Billy Hamilton officially signed with the Kansas City Royals. I would say who cares, but I'm sure there's some weird Royals fans out there who are like, yes, Billy Hamilton, woo! I just personally can't get excited about Billy Hamilton anymore. The dude's been in the league since 2014, and he's done diddly squat. I mean, he doesn't even steal that many bases. He steals like under 60 a year, which I know baseball's changing. There's not as much stolen bases as there used to be. But for a guy who's supposed to have this generational, once-in-a-lifetime speed, he doesn't steal many bases, and that's kind of his value. But he also doesn't get on base, so he doesn't have the chance to steal bases. I mean, the dude is a bad hitter. He hits like 220, 230 every single year, and he doesn't walk for shit. And this is a guy who's supposed to be getting on base and causing havoc on the base pass, but he can't walk. His on-base percentage the last 2 years has been under 300. How is that possible for a guy with his speed? You want to know how? Because teams are like, here, I'm going to put it on a tee for you, hit it, do something. And he's like, oh, I'm just going to keep popping out and striking out instead of hitting the ball on the ground. So, Kansas City Royals fans, there's nothing really to get excited about here. I mean, what are you getting with Billy Hamilton? Honestly, really, truly. Is he going to have anything left in the tank? Is he got any talent left? I don't see it, and even if he does, you're still the Royals. You're going to be the bottom of that division anyway. And the last bit of news that I have for today is regarding the Toronto Blue Jays and Troy Tulowitzki. Toronto has released Troy Tulowitzki from their team, no longer on the team. They just cut him loose. He hasn't played in what, basically a year and a half. It's been a long time since he's seen the field, and when he has been on the field, he really hasn't been as productive as they'd hope, plus just injury problems. We all know what the deal is with Troy Tulowitzki. He had such amazing talent, and he put up great numbers in Colorado, but it was always about being healthy with him, and he went to Toronto, got that huge deal back in 2015, 6 years, $118 million, and just hasn't lived up to it one bit. Which is sad, because he was such a good player, and unfortunately, you know, his career has just not been the same because of injuries, but he was so talented. He was so good. I wanted him on the Mets for so long. Thank goodness we didn't get him, obviously, because he seems like he would have been perfect with all these injuries. But it's just a shame to see a player with such talent have his career be ruined, essentially, from stuff he can't even control. And I think that's going to take us to the end of this video. Let me know what you think about the Andrew McCutchen signing, the Noah Syndergaard trade rumors, anything that's been going on in baseball in the comment section below, or you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc, links in the description. Remember to leave a like on this video if you do enjoy it and you want to see more, as well as subscribe, because I'm telling you, if Noah Syndergaard gets traded, this is not going to be a video you want to miss, especially for you Yankee fans, because I give you all the shit in the world and I pop bottles when you lose. I'm sure you'll get some nice satisfaction out of me crying when Syndergaard gets traded. And don't forget to check out the merch store, link in the description, teespring.com/stores/GiraffeNeckMarc. It'll also be under the video on YouTube, so if you're interested in buying some Giraffe Neck merch and supporting the channel, it will be there for you, links in the description. Thank you guys for watching. As always, YouTube recommends you watch this video, and this is my most recent upload, and that's going to take us to the end of the video. Don't trade Noah Syndergaard, please, Brody, please listen to me!